Good afternoon. I'm here to share some great news. Today is 6 years, my anniversary of sobriety. So on this day, 6 years ago, 2010, I got clean from painkillers cold turkey. I am a survivor and a warrior, and I am very happy to share my story. I just go like this. 6 years is a long time, this day and age. To recover from something and not go back and not have a desire to go back. My life has been great. I'm not in the best position, but I'm in a good position because I'm clean. I don't have to worry about struggling and running to pharmacies and all of the things that I was going through. They would all start 16 years ago. I got knee surgery and doctor gave me a very large dosage of painkillers. And so at this time, I was in my late 20s. I was never a drinker, never a smoker, never into cigarettes, never smoked weed, any of that. I was a regular person with a regular life, and it turned upside down when I started taking these painkillers. And the doctor, they don't educate, they don't tell you, what the dangers are. And so my life would start to turn upside down and unravel. I didn't realize I had an addiction because I didn't understand what addiction was, what it was really about, but it was real. It really was. The things that I went through, that's why I always say, I can only speak for the things that I've been through, because they real, and you just don't hear about things like that happening, what I went through. So I say, for people, if you're taking painkillers for anything, make sure that you have other options, make sure your relationship is good with your doctor, and make sure he's not just writing you script after script after script, and you don't really know what it's about. And so I'm happy to look the way I do and be healthy and be normal. My life turned upside down in a matter of months, and it seemed like the more I took them, the more I needed to take. It just went on and on and on and on and on for years. People ask me, Kay, why didn't you ever seek help all those years? I didn't know what I was going through. I just knew that I needed more pills. That was it. And so I just took more and more and more. And so I thank God today that I'm here to share my story, and that I didn't wound up like Prince, because this day, 6 years ago, I was sleeping in my Land Rover in Willow Grove in a shopping center parking lot at 4 a.m. And the police officer was knocking on my window, and they were trying to figure out if I was dead or alive. That was the last day for me that I realized that I couldn't do it anymore. It was just too much. And so at that time, I went home and I got on my knees and I prayed and I called out to God, and it was a prayer that I prayed that I never prayed. It was so real. And I surrendered myself to him in every way and said, God, please help me. I can't do this anymore. I wasn't a mom. I didn't have any kids, but I was doing crazy stuff. I mean, I'm just waking up and picture driving on the road and waking up on the other side of a bridge in incoming traffic. I am here and by God's grace and mercy. That is the only way. There is no other way. And so I tell people all the time, God is real. You won't understand him truly unless you are delivered from something serious, something really crazy. So I got clean that day. This day, 6 years ago, I never looked back. I never had a desire to go back. I was afraid. My fears was that I wanted to see how I would function without taking the painkillers. How would my brain be? How would my body feel? And once I got through the physical part, the sickness, which lasted for months, I had restless leg syndrome, restless arm syndrome. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. It was just amazing. The things that these drugs put you through. You just have to understand what the dangers are and the things that can happen. And so that was 6 years ago. And so, now with this book that I'm writing, it is in the making. And the book is so controversial because there's so many at stake. Names of doctors, pharmacies. There's so many things that I have to be, that I'm dealing with this book. And so it's taking some time, but it's coming. And so I'm just happy to be alive and happy to wake up every day and have a normal life and not be running to a pharmacy or a doctor or trying to figure out how I'm going to get through the day because of being sick or ill. So I encourage people all the time, everywhere, because everybody's taking painkillers for something. But what you need to realize is that the longer you take them, the more you'll need them. The longer you take, the more you'll need. And your dose, your numbers will get higher. You will take more and more. I was taking 65 to 70 pills a day, and I was 110 pounds. This is what makes my story so miraculous, because people will look at me and say, oh my God, you're 110 pounds. How can your body take in so many pills? But it's not even about your weight. It's about your tolerance. And that is why it was just so crazy and so extreme. But I got clean on my own with the grace of God. He watched over me. I prayed. I said, God, please help me to get through this, because I can't do it alone. There was no way humanly possible that a person can walk away from 11-year addiction without no rehab, no detox, no Suboxone. Suboxone is another medicine that they give you to wean you off of painkillers. I did it all freehand. I was determined. And I'm standing here today because that is why. My determination is what got me there. And so I'm just wanting to share my story and share this special day with you guys, and hope that you understand that I'm a warrior. And I talk about what I've been through a lot because I can only be reminded every day that I am here not by default, but God kept me here for a reason. And I have to share my story. I have to continue to share my story because it's saving people's lives all over the world. And my journey is continuing. I'm a mom. Even though I went deaf from these painkillers, God still made a way for me to hear again. And I'm looking forward to getting my left side done in the next month or two and hearing everything again. But I am a walking miracle, and I just want people to understand that if you are addicted to anything, if you really want help, you have to get down on your knees and you have to surrender everything. You have to give it to God. You have to call out his name, and you have to say, God, I can't do this by myself. I can't do this alone. That is the only way. You can't, it's not a human situation to deal with unless you have the grace of God there and his mercy. He's the only one that can do it. And you have to really want it too. You just cannot